Serving up a warm dish of the Triad's culinary fare, here's your weekly helping of food, news, and views. This is the man who ate the town.
Hey folks, and welcome to episode 224. I can't even say that. 224 of the Man Who Ate the Town podcast. This is for the week of December 20th through the 26th, 2021. My name is Tim Beeman.
And I'm Street Team Steve.
And we're opening the recipe trunk. We are recording this episode of The Man Who Ate the Town in the Less Desirable Studios in the Lab at Industry Hill. If you're listening to us on your favorite podcatchers like Apple Podcast, Stitcher, or Spotify, or anything like that, we'd appreciate a like, a follow, and a rating. I know that Spotify just this morning announced that they're finally going to allow ratings on the podcast, so I would appreciate, if you're listening to us there, that you give us a rating. And a 5 would be appreciated. Or a 10. I don't know what the highest is. If it's a 10, go with 10. If it's a 5, go with 5. Please and thank you. It would help me tremendously. And if you're listening to us on the Triad Podcast Network, welcome and thank you. Street Team Steven, this is the first time you've been in the studio, I believe.
That is correct.
Not the first time you've been on the show, but the first time in the studio. And this is the holiday episode, I guess you could call it.
Indeed. This is a beautiful, nice studio, by the way. And is this the table?
This is the table that Daniel Butner made for me. Yeah,
it's really nice.
Gotta have some things done on it, but he will get to it eventually. I'm not worrying about it. So, but yeah, it's nice. It's big. It holds all the stuff that I need.
It's solid.
So this episode of The Man Who Ate the Town is brought to you by Mojito Latin Soul Food, your go-to Cuban and Latin-inspired restaurant. They are now open. Turn this so I can see me. Hey, how are you? They are now open Mondays from noon to 8 p.m. for quick service only. I think it's an experiment, but that's okay. Go with it. That means you go to the counter, you get a number, you sit down, you bring it. They bring it to you, you eat it, and there you go. You've done the quick service thing. Welcome. Full menu and bar menu are all available. They do reservations. They do takeout. They have a large outdoor patio, which today I don't know that you want to sit out there. Last year during the pandemic, which we're still in the pandemic, but when everything was mostly shut down, we would go and sit out there. And there were some days that by the time they got the food to our table, it was already cold because it was so cold outside. But once the vaccine came through and I got vaccinated and my wife got vaccinated, we could eat inside again. And that was the best part of that, really. because eating outside, and the one I always talk about, we'll talk about that in a minute. They also do deliveries. Mojito does deliveries to surrounding businesses like Fiddlin' Fish, Broad Branch, and Wise Man. Check them out on their Facebook page and MojitoLatinSoulFood.com. Still, even more now, almost everyone's hiring. Go get a damn job. It's end of the year. I'm sure you need money for the new year. You have resolutions, and resolutions generally aren't cheap. So you need to go grab a job to pay for some of those things. So, Stephen, I saw that the main perp in the Brothers Pizzeria brawl, one that punched and kicked Mike Scotto, turned himself in last week. He was able to post bail and was released, and he has a court date coming soon. I don't know about anybody else, but I hope the punishment is severe because, I mean, that was stupid. It's one thing, move out of the way so I can go break this up. These are friends of mine, and I don't want them getting hurt. And there's another, and just let me punch the crap out of you and leave you for not dead, but leave you just waiting in the floor in your own business. That's awful.
Yeah, especially when he was already down.
Yeah.
And to continue to assault him.
Yeah. Yeah.
When he's down already, it's like, that's just, no, sorry. No,
Yeah.
Not good.
No. I mean, it's one, again, I can almost understand if it was a moment of heated whatever and just moving him out of the way. I don't know about punching him, but the one guy just kind of pushed him out over to the side, and the guy behind him came and the one who turned himself in just waylaid him. And haymaker. I mean, that was a wide swing over the top kind of punch, and just an asshole. I mean, I don't know what else to say. He was just an asshole.
Yeah, so it's I'm glad that at least he's going to go and have his day in court, or at least his first day in court. Who knows how this is going to turn out? But yep, it's good that maybe some resolution will be happening for Mike and the rest of the gang over there. Great guys. So.
Yeah, and I'm wondering about the guy. I didn't see indication in the newspaper at all about whether it was like they issued a warrant for him and he turned himself in, or if he just said, you know what, that was me, I'm sorry.
What I read is that there was definitely an arrest warrant out for him.
Okay.
For at least nothing as a person of interest.
Yeah.
So I think maybe he got onto the street and he just said, hey, look, I'm just going to turn myself in.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, it would make him look better.
Yes.
I mean, which is going to be hard, but it's going to make him look a little bit better for that. Antojito Las Delicias will be open today and tomorrow, but will take the rest of the week, that's Wednesday through Sunday, off for a break. Sari was able to bribe her mother with a vacation. Their first vacation in a long while, and they're not doing Christmas orders because, well, they're on a break. So that's just understandable. And Sari's mom, who is the owner and runs it all, does everything there. And it's about time she needed to take a break. And like Sari said, I had to bribe her with a vacation, but it worked. So
I've been there a couple times, and I'll tell you, that is just great food.
Yes.
I mean, it is really, the flavors and stuff just really belt out at you. And, I got to get there more often, but I've liked everything I've had so far. So,
And sometimes, whether it's authentic Mexican food or, the Americanized Mexican food, sometimes it has a tendency to be kind of greasy from all the stuff they're doing. It's never the case for me there. It's always fresh, clean. I mean, even the meats and stuff, they're not like dripping with extra fat and all that stuff. It's like they take really good care of how they prepare and serve it. And the lengua there is amazing, and it's unlike tongue that I've had anywhere else because it's it's cooked properly and then shredded. So it's really, really soft, not chewy at all, and it's very beefy, as tongue generally is, because it's pure beef.
Exactly.
So it's really good stuff. So
I was going to use my bite your tongue pun, but but don't bite your tongue. Bite that tongue.
Bite that tongue. Yeah. So congratulations to Antojitos for taking a vacation. We all need one, so take that. Quanto Basta will have their New Year's menu on both New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. No reservations are needed. You can find more information about that on their Facebook and their website. I did look it over. It looked pretty good. Let's see if I can pull up. So their first course features are Quanto Basta oysters, crispy fried, then roasted on their shell with pancetta, arugula, house-made focaccia, breadcrumbs, and Parmesan. The how do you say that? Sfizione?
Oh, yeah, good luck on that.
Sfizione, I think. Deep dish Sicilian pizza with caramelized onions, tomatoes, breadcrumbs, and caciovallo cheese. Then the tortellini and brodo. Classic 3-cheese stuffed tortellini in rich broth. And their main course features is the cocconcino risotto, sweet Italian sausage and caramelized fennel, aged Parmesan, seafood cannelloni with shrimp, scallops, snow crab, green peas, Alfredo, mozzarella, and ricotta, and smoked garlic and herb prime rib, Parmesan mashed potatoes, Giancale? Guanciale. Roasted Brussels sprouts and roasted tomato jus. So that's just to have.
That sounds great.
What is guanciale?
Guanciale is a style of bacon native to Italy. Well, no shock. It's made from pork jowl. So it's from this part of the pig instead of the belly.
Yeah.
But it's really made the same way. It's aged, cured, blah, blah, blah. Generally not smoked, but it's really rich and unctuous. It's really good. One of my favorite dishes, bucatini alla matriciana, is you got to have the guanciale as your base that you fry up, so it's crispy pieces of pork goodness. So excellent.
That sounds awesome.
I'm getting hungry.
Yeah, me too. So Jeffrey Adams and their sister restaurant, Young Cardinal Cafe and Company, were closed over the weekend due to a COVID exposure. I'm not sure if they're back open or not today. Are they open on Mondays? I don't know if they're even open on Mondays anyway, so it may be that they have a break. Are you looking that up? I'm going to move on while you're looking that up. Burke Street Pizza, Quiet Pint, and West End Poke are all closing at 3 p.m. today, so their company party can happen. All those are part of the Hillman Restaurant Group.
Yeah, they're closed on Mondays.
Okay, good. So that'll give them an extra day to recover without losing business. Now, these that I'm going to talk about here are holiday hours posted for the restaurants that I check on my list. This is an incomplete list because some restaurants either haven't posted hours as of this podcast or don't post to their Facebook pages at all. So here we go. Dom's is closing on Friday all the way through Sunday. They are open on New Year's Eve, normal hours, closed for lunch on New Year's Day, but then open for dinner on New Year's Day. Delicios is open Tuesday and Wednesday, regular hours 4 to 9. Thursday, it's tray pickups only, and you can find more about the trays that you can order, and you have to order by tomorrow, Tuesday, at delicios.com/catering. Friday and Saturday, they're closed.
Actually, I think on Thursday as well, you could do takeout.
Yes.
Right, so
yes.
Party trays, Christmas trays, or you can order takeout as
right.
well.
No eating in.
Right, no,
because they need all those tables.
Yeah, exactly.
The Michael Restaurant Group will have modified hours. Mama Zoe's will be open on Christmas Eve 7 to 4. They're closed on Christmas Day, open regular hours, New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. That's 7 to 9 for them. Waldo's Wings is open Christmas Eve from 11 to 4. They're closed Christmas Day, open regular hours 11 to 10 on New Year's Eve and Day. Yamas Downtown is closed Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, open New Year's Eve and New Year's Day 11 to 8:30. Yamas on Haynes Mall, Christmas Eve 11 to 4, closed Christmas Day, open New Year's Eve and Day 11 to 9. Old 4th Street Filling Station, Christmas Eve 11 to 3, closed Christmas Day, nothing about New Year's yet. I did see that Grandma Ruby's is open on Christmas Day early, which they're only open till 2 o'clock anyway. Let's see. I did say Old 4th Street already, yeah. Ardmore Coffee on the eves, it's 6 to 1, closed on the days. So Christmas and New Year's Eve, 6 to 1. New Year's and Christmas Day, closed. Tenoshi is closed the 25th and 26th. That's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Walkertown Seafood is closed the 24th and 25th. That's Friday and Saturday. And Vin 205 Wine Merchants, Christmas Eve, 10 to 2, closed Christmas Day. No mention on New Year's. So the holidays are here. Everyone's having a hard time. A lot of restaurants dread this time of year, even the best of times, because people get stupid, inconsiderate, and assholish. After all, again, we are entitled Americans, right? But they are there for you. Also, we undoubtedly have friends and family that don't get to local gyms enough. Gyms as in GEMS, not like workout places. Yeah, for whatever reason. This holiday season, why not purchase gift cards for those special places you love eating at so much and give them to your loved ones to broaden their minds, their plates, and their food journey. Also, if you're able, and I know it's not always possible, but if you are able, consider tipping a little extra for those who are taking care of you. So, Eat Drink Restaurant Week is coming soon. We'll talk about that when it gets closer. Check out Explore Winston-Salem, an Instagram-based business, to tell you all the cool and groovy things happening in our hometown. They're on Instagram as Explore Winston-Salem and on the web at explorewinstonNC.com. Christy Bellis is all over it. So, Stephen, you and I went to District 924 this past Friday. I had never been there. You had been there a couple times. Would you say that was the first time for lunch, or you have not been there for dinner?
No, I've only been there for dinner. It's
okay.
my first time for lunch.
Okay. So we had the kaboom shrimp as an appetizer, which is basically their version of the bang bang shrimp, just like Bonefish's was. And other places have a bang shrimp or a banger shrimp or some knockoff of the same thing. And we also had a deep fried lobster tail. Then we split the shrimp po' boy and the buffalo chicken wraps. I thought there was nothing that I would say was my least favorite of those four things. I thought each in their own right were a fantastic choice for both of us. The shrimp was tangy. It was done right. It was seasoned. Put a little bit of the lettuce it was laying on with it, and it's a perfect combination.
And it makes it healthy.
Yeah, that's right. You add the green stuff, and it makes it a little bit healthy, of course. Then the shrimp. I mean, not the shrimp. The lobster tail. Listo Blank, who is a foodie around town, he does a lot of. It's Listo approved. He said that you got to try the fried lobster tail if you go in, and well, we did, and he wasn't wrong. There was a bit of a spiciness to it, like there was a Texas Pete dust or something on there. It was nicely spiced, not overly overpowering. It wasn't too much so. It was still spongy, but not watery, and it wasn't too tough, so it was right. The flavors were fantastic. Dip it, and I still think there was something different about that Texas Pete. That wasn't just Texas Pete.
I agree. I mean, it was a great sauce to dip it in. I still posit that it was Texas Pete with melted butter, because kind of a take on dipping a lobster in melted butter.
Yeah,
same idea, but with a little bit of a tweak with the Texas Pete.
And I think that would work. I think that's most likely what it was.
But it was really good.
It was.
I mean, thank you, Listo. If you're listening to this, that was a winner for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. The shrimp po' boy, I thought that the provolone cheese choice that we went with, you don't usually think of cheese with seafood, but unless you're eating a fillet of fish. And why would you?
Yeah, exactly.
But the provolone, we went with provolone over American, and I think that was a nice choice because the provolone is a little tangier and a little sharper, I guess, than the American. And the remoulade, or whether they were using the kaboom sauce or whatever it was, all of that together and a little bit of lettuce and stuff in there, that was great, and the bread was the way it should be. Exactly.
I was going to say that bread was just spot on as well. Slightly toasted, a little crispy on the outside. It was really a great sandwich.
The cornmeal flaking off of it.
Yeah. No, it was really good. Just never, by the way, order seafood with cheese if you're ever in Venice. You can get kicked out of a place for trying that.
Yeah. That's like asking for ketchup on a hot dog in Chicago.
Yeah, or something. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I did that once. That was I learned my lesson the hard way. Never ever ask for Parmesan cheese on any seafood in Venice.
Yeah,
you'll get stares.
Did you get kicked out?
No, but I got lectured. I actually got lectured by this I was a little younger, but he was like 65, 70 years old. He's been working at this restaurant for 30, 40 years, right?
Yeah.
And he just laid into me about the rules and etiquette and why you never put cheese on seafood. So, anyways, it was really funny.
Well, I'm under the impression that you should not put cheese on seafood. However, you do what you want.
Exactly.
And also, This is a po' boy. It's a little bit different.
Exactly.
So, and the chicken in the buffalo wrap, I thought it was juicy, was not greasy. The only thing that made that wrap messy was, I guess, the sauce that was in it. But that's okay. I don't mind that. Just enough. And even though it was, you can tell it was Texas Pete buffalo wing sauce. That's okay because they make a good one. But the chicken itself was seasoned, and the accoutrements on it, the lettuce and tomato, that was right on.
All fresh, all really fresh. The tortilla itself was nice and soft and pliable and fresh. You could see. I mean, no, that was a great wrap. It was really good. Yeah. And again, I think the thing is the chicken was so moist. A lot of times you just get dried out, overcooked chicken, right?
Yeah, because it's the breast.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. This was great.
Yeah. Yeah, and the skin, the not skin, the battering, it stayed on. It wasn't like flaking off and leaving you with just chicken. And we had the creamy mac and cheese, and it didn't coagulate when I poured my Texas Pete over it like some other places do. You pour Texas Pete on it, and it's like, I don't like it, and it just starts, clumping up. That did not happen here. Did you have to add any pepper? I know you like pepper.
Yeah, I added some pepper, but it was not as much as I normally add pepper to mac and cheese. So it was seasoned really, really well, I will actually have to say. So I think maybe my peppering was just more of a habit, but still, that was some of the best mac and cheese I've had around. So it was really good.
Awesome. So,
and I just want to mention, by the way, the service was also A1.
Oh, I was going to say, Kayla.
Top notch.
Yeah. Kayla, our server, was, she made the experience even better. Because we asked recommendations, and I know sometimes that's dangerous. But she didn't lead us astray, and she got us what we needed when we needed it. And she was just sweet and astute, and we didn't have need for anything. If we did, they got it really quick. So, and even the expediter and the girl who served us. So, I mean, Satis. So, it was all a great experience. And if you've not been to District 924, I will say dress appropriately. but if you've not been there, I highly recommend, and I think Stephen does too, that you should go give them a shot.
Yeah, absolutely. And there was a few things we didn't try, which just because we already had so much food. But in previous iterations, I had the grits that have the Gouda cheese and stuff in it, and they are amazingly good. So whether you have it with shrimp or if you have it with fried fish, get the fried fish on the side. But the grits really are top notch as well. So there's a lot of. In fact, your menu has a lot of really good looking things on it. So
yeah. I only saw the lunch menu. I would like to go online and see the other one and actually experience it. I might have time this week. You never know. So Listo was right. It's not only Listo approved. I believe it's Man Who Ate the Town approved too. Food holidays. Before we get to that, Christmas is coming. Obviously, that's what we do at Christmas time, is talk about Christmas. I will not have a show next Monday, which is the 27th. Several reasons. One, it's the weekend. It's the Monday after Christmas. It's my mother's birthday, and it's my son's getting his wisdom teeth out. So I'm going to be there with him. The following is the one right after New Year's. So I won't have a show until at least the 9th. The 9th. Yes, or 10th. 9th, 1, 2, 3, 10th, I think. So,
the 10th.
Yeah. So, So I hope you enjoy your break from me.
We're going to miss you. Come on.
What do you're heading north like any respectable northerner would do for Christmas?
Yeah, of course. What do you do? You go into basically the ice box of America. We're going to Minnesota. So there are weeks where the temperature never even gets to 0. That has a high. So, of course, that's what you do. We go to one of the coldest spots in America and shiver. So,
what part of Minnesota are you from?
Actually, the Twin Cities.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's a little south, right?
It's like 2/3 south, actually.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's not nearly as bad as the northern.
Right.
Up north, you know. Yeah, sure, you betcha.
Yeah, just a skosh. Yeah. So, what Christmas traditions do you guys have, and or are you going to participate with this year?
Yeah. So what we basically do is it's Christmas Day breakfast. So that's the big thing. So it's everybody gets together. It's always waffles, homemade waffles, egg bake, ham, sausages, bacon. I mean, that's a whole spread, and everybody comes together. We do that, and then we open presents after the brunch and stuff like that. So that's the big thing, is that. So
what is an egg bake?
Oh, an egg bake. Oh, yeah, sure, you betcha. It's effectively.
Don't you know?
Yeah, don't you know? It's a casserole it's almost like bread pudding. So you take stale bread, but you mix it, with eggs and milk. So it's kind of really like a bread pudding. Mm-hmm. And then you throw a lot of savory things in there. In this case, it's almost always hot and sagey sausage, and that you cook and put it in there. And then you let it soak overnight. And then you put a bunch of cheese on top, or you mix the cheese in, and then you bake it in the oven. So basically, it's a savory bread pudding for all practical purposes. So, yeah. That's a tradition.
So for us, just like it was for Thanksgiving, it's going to be a little different this year because we're my parents' new house. For us, traditionally, the big time is New Year's Eve, and that's when the family shrimp happens. That's the beer steamed shrimp that my sister makes several pounds of, and I eat about 2 of those pounds. She makes her own cocktail sauce. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to make deviled eggs this time or not, but yeah, I should. Yeah, I should always do that. Yeah. I need to experiment with other things other than the ones that I'm known for. I need to figure out other recipes. I want to do that. That just takes a little bit of time, and that's not a commodity that I am stocked in. So I have to make time for it. But yeah, so that's the big thing. And then Christmas Day, we usually gather for some meal during lunch, like late lunch, 2:00 or so. And I believe this year it's spaghetti. That kind of switches up here and there. So my mom said it was spaghetti. That might be the better time for the deviled eggs with the spaghetti than the shrimp. So,
are you going to have meatballs with the spaghetti, or is it just spaghetti?
It'd probably be meatballs too. Yeah,
or sausage or something.
Yeah, I would like to see both because, like, when I go to restaurants, the Italian restaurants, I like to, if it's a spaghetti with meatballs or spaghetti and sausage, I want both. Just split them in half. Half the portion, which if you go to the right places, they're like, nah, just give them both, and you get full portions of both. I like to like BLL Rotisserie Factory. I like to go in there and get the spaghetti with sausage, but with a side of meatballs. So I get the full meatball treatment with the sausage part.
I've never had the meatballs. I had the sausage at BLL, which is great, but I've never had their meatballs. How are they?
Pretty good. They're not humongous. Some places are humongous, and I kind of worry about the humongous ones because I'm like, are they done all the way through? And usually they are, but they still kind of worry me. But these are like regular, smart-sized meatballs. If you get any more than that, then you're it's a little crap. But it's a crapshoot whether you get it or not. So, yeah. So I hope that you're very safe on your trip.
Well, thank you. Yes, we're going to take all the precautions we can. We have our KN95 masks and everything else we can do. So we're going to try to be as safe as possible.
Good. I didn't have time to actually script out my holidays in history, so we'll read them as we go. But before we get to that...
I actually have a question. Are we going to discuss the opening today of the Bossy Beulahs that just opened this morning?
Oh,
today?
Did it?
Yeah, today at 11 o'clock. With
I
don't know if you care about it or not, but...
Well, I won't go. I won't spend money there. But it's still a food interest, and that's how much I've been paying attention. I didn't even know that it was. I knew that it was close because I drove by and saw inside, which they actually threw that up really fast.
Relatively speaking, yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
So today, I think it was 11, maybe 11:30. But the thing that they did, which I agree with you, if I go, I'll only go once, and that's just to compare their chicken sandwich to Timmy's hot chicken sandwich, which I think is great, by the way. I don't know if you've had Timmy's.
I have not.
No, that's a solid, good chicken sandwich, and their sides are really good too. So I would do it just to compare the newest chicken sandwich place to Timmy's chicken sandwich place, just to see how they compare. But otherwise, I'm not too interested. But the thing that I did think that was a good gimmick, if nothing else, was that for the first 50 people today, you get 1 year free chicken sandwiches. So, nice little incentive. I'm sure there was a huge line.
And how often can you go for that?
Who knows? Probably once a week, but still, even once a month is still, it's not a bad deal. So, but anyway, so that's the only other food news and restaurant stuff that I know of that we haven't covered yet. So
maybe that'll be one of our excursions.
Yeah, just once.
I won't spend money there.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, and like I said, I'll spend it once just to try it. Yeah, because I do have to. I'm a food guy. I gotta try this stuff. So
and I really should try it, but I just hate the thought of giving them my money. I'm not going to go into the details why. I just don't deal with hate chicken. So
if you really need to know the reasons why, just look at Facebook on the Winston-Salem Eats, and it'll be there aplenty.
Oh yeah, especially probably today. Because everybody will dredge that back up. Well, thank you for bringing that up, because I was not aware, because I have blocked it out.
There we go. We'll do a chicken off. We'll do a Timmy's versus Beulah's chickens off, and we'll see how it goes.
Yes, let's do that. I look forward to it.
All right.
Food holidays are sponsored by Diamondback Grill. It is casual dining located in the heart of Buena Vista in Winston-Salem. It is a fantastic family-owned farm-to-fork restaurant that sources most of its ingredients from local farmers, and ambiance is always amazing. Check out their nightly themed specials, and especially their cocktail menu, because it's full of seasonal deliciousness. Also, see if Alan has made any Jell-O shots. Jell-O shots are a dime a dozen. Actually, they're $2 a piece. But but he also made. They had the cherry and the lime this weekend. I was there. But they also had this Christmas sugar cookie one that was made with Bailey's and triple sec. Oh. So it was a little harder than regular Jell-O shots, but they were really good. Had a good spice to it. He also put a little bit of, I think, cinnamon on top, and some whipped cream and candy sprinkles on top of it. So it was like a Christmas cookie.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it was really good. And we had the orange something grouper, and it was very, very good. I've of course swapped out the asparagus with a spinach medley, and it was fantastic. Over the couscous, I think, but it was really, really good. It was just a good time, and the food there is always amazing. So what I was going to say earlier about eating outside, the worst one, the culmination of eating outside, was when it was 28 degrees outside at Diamondback Grill. and they don't have any heaters or anything, and trying to warm yourself up over a votive candle is so not easy.
It's futile, I think,
Yeah,
is the
yeah,
word.
yes. And I don't usually wear a lot of jackets or coats or anything, but I had a coat on, and it was still really bad. And it was not only 28 degrees, but it was windy. So the wind chill was probably about 17. And also whenever the food came out, it was put on the table and cold. But that was not their fault. It was our fault, because that's the only way my wife would allow me to eat there during that time. But it was still delicious, cold or not. Diamondback Grill is 751 Avalon Road, and you can find them on the web at diamondbackgrill.com and on Facebook and Instagram. To make reservations, call 336-722-0006, and of course, tell them that I sent you. All right, today is the 20th, and it's National Sangria Day, which I can totally get behind.
Absolutely.
Where's the best sangria for you in town?
Oh, boy. I would have to say probably... lost memory. One of your sponsors, Mojitos.
Mojito.
Yeah, they do a great sangria.
Okay.
Yep.
My favorite, at least in the past, I don't know what they taste like now because I had my own for a little bit. I had the less desirable sangria. It's a little bit different, but it was at Willow's Bistro.
And they're known for sangria.
Yeah, and they had, it was, because they use peach schnapps and what's the other thing? The peach schnapps and some kind of brandy that was flavored, as well as the wine. And I always told them I didn't want any citrus fruit. I just wanted extra berries and extra brandy. So it was called the BBB, Beeman Loves Brandy and Berries. And that became the less desirable sangria.
I was wondering if it was maybe B&B as the brandy, which is Benedictine and brandy, which is a flavored brandy, which would go into all the B's.
Yeah, it would be B&B, BBB. But yeah, that was my favorite sangria. In 1790, a water-powered mill with machinery for spinning, roving, and carting cotton began operating on the banks of the Blackstone River in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. In 1803, on the 20th, the Louisiana Purchase was completed as France handed over New Orleans, and the U.S. acquired 828,000 square miles of territory from France. It included all or part of 15 states.
Yeah,
it was major.
Massive.
In 1880, in New York City, Charles F. Brush lit up. I think it's supposed to have been Broadway with his arc lights, giving the street its name, the Great White Way. And one of my favorite hotels, at least I've never been to it, but the pictures of it, I love the Chateau Frontenac in Quebec, Canada, was opened on this day in 1893. Let's see. In 1928, in Guiseley, northern England, Harry Ramsden opened what would be the most famous fish and chips restaurant in the world.
Salt fish and chips?
Huh?
Which fish and chips restaurant?
Harry Ramsden.
Never heard of it.
Neither.
Okay, very famous.
It's very famous, yes. Let's see.
By the way, it's not easy finding fish and chips in London. You can find it outside of London all over the place, but within London, it's actually not easy to find.
Actually, when we were there for 4 days on our honeymoon, I only looked one day, and the only place we looked, it was there.
Oh, there you go.
But I preferred it. What was it, Finnegan?
Yeah.
So, in 1949, Thomas Carvel of Hartsdale, New York, received a patent for an apparatus for agitating and dispensing frozen foods, like custards and other things, in semi-solid condition. That's the beginning of Carvel ice cream. Yeah, so that's all for the 20th. Let's move on to the 21st. Screen. It's obviously winter solstice on that day. It's the shortest day of the year. Winter begins in the northern hemisphere. Summer begins in the southern hemisphere. And just in time for summer in the southern hemisphere, it's National Kiwi Fruit Day. Even though that's our day, it started in New Zealand. So we'll go with that. So it's also, if we would have waited till Tuesday, Stephen, but you'll be out of town, it's National Fried Shrimp Day. We could have been on our po' boy and our kaboom shrimp. In 1620, the Pilgrims arrived at Plymouth Rock on the Mayflower. Bad weather delayed the actual landing until the 23rd. So they sit out there. We go in there. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? The answer was still no until 3 days later. The New York World published the first crossword puzzle in 1913 on the 21st. In 1937, Walt Disney's first full-length animated film, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, opened in L.A. It ran for 83 minutes and cost $1.5 million to make. So, and it went on to win not the Best Picture, as it was nominated for, but it won 7 miniature statuettes for Academy Awards for just because it was really the first feature film that was animated.
Wow. I bet they made their 1.5 million back a few times.
More than a few times. I would say probably 100 times over. So in 1999, David Gesk and Lynn C. Kretschmann of Menu Saver Inc. were granted a patent for making a sealed crustless sandwich of peanut butter and jelly. Purchased by Smucker's, the patent was controversial from the start. After several lawsuits, appeals, and re-examinations, the PTO issued a certificate canceling all claims on September 25th. But it's the Uncrustables or Crustables or whatever those things are called. They developed those in 1999. In 2000, further research leads to the removal of a warning label on products containing saccharin, a non-nutritive sweetener. Although it will still let you know that it has phenylalanine in it, which is a neurotoxin. So be careful. I can't do a lot of artificial sweeteners because it messes with my Tourette syndrome. Yeah, it's not fun. On the 22nd, it's National Date Nut Bread Day. Okay. That also happens on September the 8th, too. I don't know why it needs 2 days.
I'm not sure if it needs 1 day.
Yeah, I'm wondering that, too. Most of these things, I'm always, why? Why do we need that? But as my wife pointed out, it's because she's in marketing. It's done, and you can look at the things and it says it's not this one, but if it's something specific, it's usually designated by the company or industry in which they're celebrating, and then they all get together and say, yeah, we're doing it on this date. And that's what it is. That's just to bring awareness, I guess, of the shit they're peddling. So in 1882, Edward H. Johnson, vice president of Thomas Edison's electric company, created the first electric Christmas tree lights. He displayed the walnut-sized bulbs on a large Christmas tree at his home in New York.
Cool.
Yeah. In 1885, LaMarcus Thompson of Coney Island, New York, was issued a second patent for a gravity switchback railway. This was an improvement on the previous patent that had been from January the same year. The father of the gravity ride had opened a 600-foot roller coaster the previous year. Stomachs would never be the same again. So that was... So it's roller coasters.
Yeah, roller coasters. Okay. Gravity train didn't kind of ring a bell, but roller coaster definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, in Coney Island. I should have picked up on that. In 1888, Joseph Horn and Frank Hardart opened Horn and Hardart, a 15-stool lunchroom in Philadelphia. The Lincoln Tunnel between Midtown Manhattan and Weehawken, New Jersey, opened to traffic in 1937 on the 22nd. How do you say this? Coelancath, Coelacanth, was caught off the coast of South Africa. It was a primitive fish thought to have been extinct for more than 80 million years. Since then, another population has been discovered in Indonesia.
I wonder how it tastes.
I wonder that too. Coelancath, I guess. In 1958, the Chipmunk Song by Alvin, Simon, and Theodore was number 1 on the music charts. Aluminum Christmas trees go on sale in Canada in 1960 on the 22nd. A record grouper caught with rod and reel weighed over 436 pounds in Destin, Florida.
That's some fish.
Yeah, that's a huge bitch. The 23rd is National Pfeffernuss Day. So that's a cookie, right?
Yep. It's a spice cookie.
Okay.
Very good.
The Night of the Radishes happens in Oaxaca, Mexico on the 23rd.
You have wild radishes attacking cities or something?
What's going on? Noche de los Rabones. A tradition that dates back to colonial times. A great exhibition of figures made of radishes is put on display. Figures of animals, humans, saints, and other characters are made using this vegetable only, and the artists are rewarded for their ingenuity and skill. It has since become a real thing, but Festivus starts on the 23rd. It's a parody holiday festival, an alternative to the commercialism of the Christmas and holiday season. Thank you, Seinfeld.
So now it's becoming a commercial-y thing anyway.
Yes. Because I'm sure people are buying shirts for it and all that stuff.
Oh, I saw a Festivus sweater being displayed, so yes.
It's for the rest of us. In 1620, they finally got to come up on land. The Pilgrims did. Okay.
Must have been cold, man.
It must have been cold or rocky or something. I mean, it was Plymouth Rock. But why couldn't they just get on the little dinghies and come on the shore? I don't get it. I guess they didn't have any shelter, so they had to wait till it was clear to do that.
Yeah.
But still, up New England way in December.
Yeah.
In 1620, I'm sure was cold as shit.
Yep.
In 1675, Charles II of England issued a proclamation suppressing coffee houses. The public response was so negative that he revoked it in just a week's time, or actually 2 weeks' time. In 1750, Benjamin Franklin shocked himself while trying to electrocute a holiday turkey. He believed electrocuting the turkey would make it more tender. He was a genius, but some things were not quite genius level. In 1823, Clement Moore's A Visit from St. Nicholas, or we know it better as The Night Before Christmas, was published anonymously in the Troy, New York Sentinel. Van Gogh cuts part of his left ear off with a razor in 1888 on that day. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, if you're interested, was premiered on 1954. I love I'm a Disney freak anyway, but I do love the live action films as well. Swiss Family Robinson, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, things like Mary Poppins, things like that. I love those too.
Yeah, actually, 20,000 Leagues was one of my staples growing up watching that one. So that's for its time, pretty darn good film.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Yes, and James Mason starring in the film. In 1972, 8-year-old Richard Knecht set a new world record for consecutive sit-ups. He did 25,222 in 11 hours and 14 minutes.
Oh, that's 25,220 more than I would do.
Yeah. I wouldn't even have gotten in the floor, truthfully. Well, I don't know. If I was 8, maybe I would have. I was want to do a lot of things that this old man will not do. In 1992, the Christmas speech of Queen Elizabeth II was published in the Sun newspaper 2 days ahead of schedule, sparking a full-scale investigation. That's funny. In 2003, the USDA announced the first suspected case of mad cow disease in the United States. So, not just slightly perturbed cow.
That's right.
Full-on mad cow.
I mean, we're talking irate.
That's an irate bovine right there.
Right.
Christmas Eve, it was the night before Christmas. Children have visions of sugar plums dancing in their head. Have you ever had a sugar plum?
No, actually I have not.
I don't know that I've ever even seen a sugar plum.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's also National Eggnog Day.
That I have had.
Yeah, me too. Not often. Actually had it for the first time as an adult able to drink like 3 years ago.
Oh, my.
Yeah. I mean, I'd had like just the non-alcoholic stuff, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, why bother?
Yeah, it's just like malted milk or something. I mean, what? No. But then I had it with some Maker's Mark, and all was right in the world.
There we go. I was going to wonder which alcohol of choice did you have, because brandy's pretty common in there, and of course, for around here, actually, it was only when I got to North Carolina did I ever have bourbon in the eggnog, which is a very nice addition, by the way.
Yeah, it was, and it was only Maker's Mark because the friend who brought the eggnog brought the Maker's Mark. I'm like, okay. I do have, I believe, some brandy at home, and Stephanie said she got some eggnog stuff, so maybe we'll have to have it that way.
Yep, cool. Just put a little pinch of nutmeg on top.
Yeah, and I have cognac too, which is
refined
brandy.
Refined brandy. Yeah. It might be too good. That might be too good for eggnog. I don't know if I'd waste it.
Yeah, I got some Hine, Hine, I think it is. That my friend Jeff got me for my birthday.
That's really good stuff.
It was really good stuff.
Yeah.
And my other friend John got me some of the Suntory.
Oh, the Japanese?
The Japanese, and that was really good too. A little smoky. I liked it. It was fun. It was delicious. In 1818, Franz Gruber composed the music for Silent Night, or it was Stille Nacht, as it was called then, in time for midnight mass at St. Nicholas Church in Oberndorf, Austria, which I did announce that on the daily for that day. So when you get to it, that's one of the things that happened. In 1822, Clement Moore is thought to have composed his classic poem, A Visit from St. Nicholas, on the 24th while traveling home from Greenwich Village, where he had bought a turkey to fill the last of several baskets that his family was accustomed to donating to the poor during the holiday season. In 1826, Eggnog Riot, sounds like something from Cherry Poppin' Daddies or something, doesn't it? Eggnog Riot! At West Point Military Academy, when informed that their Christmas eggnog would be alcohol-free, cadets in the North Barrack No. 5 decided to make their own eggnog with alcohol for a Christmas Eve, late night, early morning celebration. Of course, it got noisy, and they were caught, shouting, and general disorder developed. Some swords were drawn, firewood crashed through windows, and at least one shot was fired. The artillery unit stationed at West Point had to be called in to quell the disturbance. In the aftermath, 6 cadets resigned, 19 were court-martialed, and many, including a young Jefferson Davis, were confined to quarters for more than a month.
My Lord.
All over, don't take my alcohol. In 1851, on the 24th, a devastating fire destroyed about 35,000 books in the Library of Congress in Washington, D.C. In 1919, Standard Oil founder John D. Rockefeller gave away $100 million. Just gave it away. Here, you get $1 million. You get $1 million.
Back in those days, that's a lot of money.
It was.
I mean, even today, it's a lot of money, but man.
Yeah, for 1919.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That would be in the billions.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, easily. Yep.
In 2003, Canada, or as my cousin Marvin says, Canada, institutes a partial ban on imported beef from the United States because of that irate cow disease. In 2006, in the Chicago suburb of Villa Park, thieves stole a semi-tractor trailer filled with broccoli. It was valued at $50,000. Gotta have some broccoli. Know where you can get some broccoli? I know where we can get some broccoli. Let's go over here to Villa. On the 25th, of course, it's Christmas Day, and it's also National Pumpkin Pie Day, which I don't know why. It should have been Thanksgiving.
Agreed.
Yeah. Pumpkin's a little out of season at this point, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think they need to go get their marketing money back.
Yes. On the year that matches our area code here, 336, the first recorded celebration of Christmas on December 25th. In 1213, King John of England ordered 3,000 capons, or capons.
Yeah, capons.
1,000 salted eels, 400 hogs, 100 pounds of almonds, and 24 casks of wine for his Christmas feast.
Wow.
He went full on.
He did.
In 1252, Henry III hosts 1,000 knights and nobles at York. 600 oxen are consumed. In 1415, England's Henry V orders food distributed to the citizens of Rouen, who are trapped by his siege. Henry himself dines on roast porpoise. He did that on porpoise.
Yes, he did.
In 1512, the Duke of Northumberland was served 5 swans for his Christmas dinner. All these, I'm going to skip through it because there's a lot of them. Yeah. Okay, in 1821, Clara Barton was born. She was the founder of the American Red Cross. A 446-pound baron of beef was served to Queen Victoria and the royal family in 1852. Jeez.
Wow. That's like the whole cow.
Yeah, yes. In 1960, Dr. Irving Cooper received a wine bottle opener for Christmas. It injected carbon dioxide gas into the bottle to force the cork out. He noticed the gas was extremely cold coming out of the needle-like device. That gave him the idea to develop a brain surgery technique using liquid nitrogen to freeze tiny areas of the brain cells or tumors. All right.
Yeah, what are you going to say about that? Good use of a wine opener.
Yeah, I guess so. I wonder if he uses that, he actually pours you a glass so you don't have to put you out.
Exactly.
While he's working on it.
Yeah.
He's freezing the stuff. The 26th is National Candy Cane Day. It's also Boxing Day in the UK, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. Is traditionally celebrated the day after Christmas when servants and tradespeople were given gifts, a Christmas box from their employers. Kwanzaa begins December 26th to January the 1st, a celebration of African American family, community, and culture. In 1878, on the 26th, John Wanamaker installed the first electric lighting in an American store. He illuminated his Grand Depot department store in Philadelphia with 28 brush arc lamps. Because, it's easier to shop when you can see what you're buying. In 1931, Melville Dewey died. He created the Dewey Decimal Classification System. I always thought it was some guy named Decimal. I'm kidding. I didn't really think.
I'll put a dot on that one.
Yeah. Point, dot. In 1947, New York City was buried under 25.8 inches of snow in 16 hours. 1966, the first day of the first Kwanzaa is celebrated in Los Angeles under the direction of Maulana Karenga, the chair of Black Studies at the California State University at Long Beach, designed as a celebration of African American family, community, and culture. In 1967, Whammo received a patent for improvements to the Frisbee, reducing aerodynamic drag. It's a disc.
It's a fancier disc.
It's a fancier disc.
Exactly.
We've improved it. That drag is gone. In 1982, the Time magazine Man of the Year was the personal computer. Let's see. In 2004, a massive earthquake near Sumatra caused a tsunami that swept across the Indian Ocean from Indonesia to Africa. It was one of the worst national disasters in modern history. Over 220,000 people died and millions were left homeless. That's your food, holidays, and history for this week. Special thanks to James Ehler at foodreference.com for making us chuckle, roll our eyes, wonder what half this shit's for, make us hungry.
Makes me wonder what you get for a semi-load of broccoli.
Yeah. Yeah. And what do they do with all the broccoli?
Black market. Or green market, I guess.
Yeah, the green market. Yes. Yes. Well, thanks, James, for that. The Man Who Ate the Town podcast is part of the Less Desirables podcast network. Along with this podcast, you can listen to the Less Desirables, the Beer Dads, Fan Interference, Beeswax Final, Daily, Wheeler's Dog, Asylum Tales from the Devereaux Diaries podcast, and the Useless Things podcast. You can find all these podcasts on their latest episodes on our network website and directory, tldpodnetwork.com. You'll find all you need to know about those shows right there on tldpodnetwork.com. This is a reminder to all the listeners, and it's good practice, not just now, but for always. Wash your damn hands. Wash with warm water and soap. Wash with that soap for about 20 seconds or more. If you don't know how long 20 seconds is, just sing along with this.
Last Christmas, I gave you my heart, but the very next day, you gave it away. This year, to save me from tears, I'll give it to someone special.
And you're all welcome, by the way.
Last Christmas, I gave you my heart, but the very next
I've never understood the hate for that song. I think it's a well-written song. Some people say it was overplayed. You only listen to it for 2 months out of the year. And there are so many other things. I'm sure it's not like every other song. Same thing with the Mariah Carey thing. I don't mind that one either. I just like this one better. That's why I went with it. So you all have been subjected to that one too, had I chosen that one. It's like being rickrolled, but instead it's wham-rolled.
Exactly.
Stephen, I really have enjoyed you being here. It's a whole lot more fun when I can bounce stuff off of people than it is just me talking to myself and looking into the camera every once in a while.
My pleasure to be here. It's a lot of fun to do this live with you. So this is awesome.
So I hope that your trip is, are you driving or flying?
Flying.
Okay. Yeah. Does it get too cold to take off and land up there?
They do have to de-ice for sure. They definitely go through a de-icing stage on the way out.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Well, have a safe and enjoyable trip. When you coming back?
Coming back January 4th.
Okay. After the New Year. So I hope that your New Year is your New Year's celebration is fantastic as well.
And same with yours, with your beer shrimp and some sort of deviled eggs.
Yes.
At some point.
Deviled eggs of some sort.
Yep.
Yeah. Keep an eye on my blog and the podcast to find out more about food news and happenings around town. If you have any food news, send an email to tim@themanwhoatethetown.com. You can also contact us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter Instant Messengers. Like us on Facebook. On Twitter, we are man_who_ate_the_town. On Instagram, we are man_who_ate_the_town. We invite you to call and leave a voicemail for the podcast or any podcast on the TLD network. You can call 336-422-6756. 6862. That's right, 336-422 NUM. Leave us a voicemail and we'll play it on the podcast. Again, 336-422 NUM 6862. Once more, thank you for being here with me, buddy.
Hey, always a pleasure. I'll be back anytime you want.
Oh yeah, we'll make that happen. Well, my name's Tim,
and I'm Street Team Steve,
and we're closing the recipe trunk. Until next time, thank you for reading. Thank you for listening. Bon appetit. Yamas. The views and opinions stated by me or any of my guests are solely those of ours and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of our hosting companies, distributors, enemies, friends, or relatives. This podcast is copyrighted and cannot be reproduced or distributed without express written consent of the man who ate the town, that's me, and Such Limited Inc. However, if you ask nicely, we'll probably let you.